Guys, welcome back to another Wake Up Humans, which this is going to be a pivotal discussion that we're having here. I got special guests, Dr. Edwin Cordero, Dr. Drew Henderson, Dr. Eddie Martinez, and Dr. Brian Lieberman, and myself, Steve Judson. And we're here, guys, to have a discussion on what the hell is happening with the announcement that came out with us going in and becoming part of the IFCO, boys. So let's let it rip. I think the biggest thing right off the bat I want to make clear, and this is maybe a little bit our fault how it rolled out. This was not a dynamic essentials board decision, even though most of us are on the board. I could see how that rolled out, but this is a principled chiropractic decision for guys that were in the trenches for over 10 years. And we basically said it's time for something different. So let's let it roll, baby. Dr. Cordero, why don't you open up with your opening thoughts?
Absolutely. When I took over Sherman College as president back in 2013, the IFCO at that time was already, rocking and rolling and moving forward. But I wanted to give a little background, a little context so people are aware. In 1997, the organization was called the Federation of Chiropractors, District Chiropractors and Organizations. And then in 2011, that was started by Reggie Gold, by the way. And then their whole purpose was to advocate for the Penn State graduates that were going to school, that at that time they were affiliated with Sherman College, and they couldn't get licensure at the time. And so the FSCO was formed through Reggie, so they can advocate for these doctors that are graduating, and they can practice obviously in Pennsylvania. 2011, right before I took over Sherman College, they had converted and decided to move into the IFCO, which is the current name that it's right now. And same concept, advocating grew, and just to protect the principle and straight chiropractic at the time.
Amen. And, Eddie, we've been involved in this probably long anyone here. I mean, over 10 years as RAs, and then Lieberman came in for Georgia. And man, it's been a battle, man. It's been like, Zoom calls, board meetings, flying around to things where it's like, I know some people are out there saying, well, how are you guys walking away from it? And the thing that comes to my mind is we're walking away from nothing. We're walking towards something. But these people that I get where they're coming from, but they haven't been in it. Like you and I have been in it, and then Drew and Brian came in, so they've been in it, and they know it's been a constant battle where it's like all we want to do is promote the principle.
Yeah, I mean, all I wanted everybody to know this wasn't a haphazard decision. I mean, this was tough because,
yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, I'm a very loyal person, and we came in to an organization with BJ Palmer's vision, Dr. Sid Williams' vision in mind, and to grow and promote that and push it forward. But it's nothing new, and over the years, we want to go back in way back in history. In 1906, the Universal Chiropractic Association existed, and B.J. Palmer was part of it. He was the secretary, and that was born to provide legal defense and for chiropractors, just like what the FSCO did for Penn State. So, up at that time, B.J. just wanted to keep it pure. But it's just the beginning. There's been the mixer straights, or you want to say vitalistic, mechanistic. It's always been around, and the UCA back at then, up until like 1922, I think, BJ realized that their thing was we want to accept everyone and try to teach them chiropractic when they come in, and that's on paper that's awesome and that's strong, but it's not as easy as we think it is. So around 1922. He found that chiropractic was getting more and more diluted, and more the schools that were popping up and so chiropractic was becoming more mechanistic than vitalistic or mixer versus straight. And then you come in with the alphabet soup. You got the CCE came from the NCA, which is now today's UCA. So BJ made a decision. He either there's many stories or anecdotes in history on how people remember things, but either he was voted out of the UCA or he withdrew from it. But nonetheless, he knew that he needed to start a new organization, and he started the Chiropractic Health Bureau. And then from there, in 1940-41, it turned into the ICA. So it's happened before. It's not something that we wanted to happen. It just came about, and we're looking at, like you said, Steve, not for any one individual or an organization. We're talking about chiropractic and the vision and moving it forward.
And and you think about, I mean, the ICA board, we were doing some really good work, man. Like, and we had guys like Jeff Schulten that was putting things together and tasks that was really phenomenal, like the excitement. And then when Dr. Cordero was coming in as CEO, we're like, all right, now we could blow this up. Our energies, it hasn't been wasted. The voices have been heard. And then the negativity kicked in again, and Schulten left because they were just kind of ignoring his hard work and everything. And it was like bursting the bubble. And then it was when Dr. Cordero got in there and saw things, it was like the way things were set up, we really couldn't do anything. And then, Brian, you were running for the rep again, and they were trying to push you out. And, we just all had to come together, right, Brian, and be like, we got to do something else here. And our initial intention, Brian, was let's just focus on DE, right?
Yeah, it was. And I think it's important to know that back a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, somebody on the board who was president basically changed the bylaws and constitution of the ICA to really make it a self-perpetuating board. And at that point, the ICA, in my opinion, was lost, where you couldn't, it's going to just go forward with the people who are in charge is what they think is the right thing. And, we could have 4 or 5 people on the board, but when there's 12 or 13 or whatever that are thinking other ways, it's very hard to get something done, especially when it's about just chiropractic. But after that, we could have started our own thing, and we threw that around. Do we just go with DE and push that as hard as we can and maybe, create something through that? And at the end, we kind of, in my opinion, just humbled ourselves and said that there's an organization out there that absolutely, at least at this point, stands for the principle, and they have some organization and membership in place. Why don't we team up with them, bring 2, strong principled groups together and run from there? So I'm proud of us deciding and tucking, and not just saying we got to do it our way. It's got to be all us. And getting involved with other people who have not always traditionally been in our camp, maybe camp wise, but chiropractic wise, definitely are, and that's really what it comes down to. Our thing is how do we push chiropractic forward? What's the best way? And this, in our opinion, appeared to be the best way.
Yeah, and I think the camp thing is a great analogy, because I know, Drew, you and I were on the phone, and we were like, yeah, we're never going with the IFCO. And then humbly, it was like, why?
Exactly.
And it was probably just personal issues with individuals from years ago. And I'm like, that's been our whole profession. It's always been just egos, and men had disagreements. So they started something new, and it diluted. I mean, you read everything that the IFCO talks about. It's our way of chiropractic. It's our passion, the same like-minded vision that we had to, like, Drew, you and I got on a call and like, well, can we let the egos slide?
Yeah, and that's what we had to do, because it's other egos that didn't really mesh well with ours. But then we had ego too, and we we got to lay this down. We can't do this anymore. We have to do it for the good of the principle, good of the profession. And even the ICA is full of great people that I love and care for. But as an organization, their vision is not set to the same compass, to the true north as mine is, and ours, either. And our values are different.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, but they're still ICA is full of great people that I love and care for.
Yeah. Imagine if all I know I probably have the smallest ego out of all you guys here, right? But imagine, once people kind of get big in our profession, people latch on to them and pull them in to speak and all this kind of stuff. And then they kind of start separating from where they came from, which the majority, 90%, came through DE, right? And they're off doing their own thing. And then we get kind of pissed off. Don't forget where you came from. And then it's that whole stupidity. Imagine if we all came together as leaders in our passion and our energy and our vision to bring it to the younger generation and have one global international institution, bringing that around the world, which is what we have the potential to do. The ICA had that potential if it could get on board with the principle. There was a time last year they wanted to change the writing of the sacred trust. Like that was the writing on the wall. Like you're not going to change BJ's words, right? So that was kind of like, you know what? We got to get down to basics in this profession, get the ego out of the way so principal chiropractic does not get buried, and let's get everybody together, right? You know, Edwin, you and I were talking about New Beginnings, which branched away from DE a long time ago. They're great people,
Yep.
right? They're awesome people. Like, let's bring it together. Like, let's cut the BS.
You know what's funny, Steve, with that comment is there's a lot of there's such a division amongst our profession, and we have these small groups that are they love chiropractic, they love the principle, they just don't have the resources, they don't have the manpower, they don't have what it takes to be able to take this fight. And like you said a few minutes ago, DE has always been that platform for people to come and join us and go out and express themselves and do. But the bottom line is this. We have to be very cognizant of the fact that we have worked so hard in this profession, all of us, and those of you that are listening to us, maybe many of you have worked even more, but we have to be cognizant of the fact that there has to be a legacy, and the legacy is moving the ego aside, looking at what's important for the profession and for the future of this profession, and utilize everybody's wisdom, experience, knowledge, expertise, and be able to continue that fruition of bringing this chiropractic not only to domestically in the United States, but obviously internationally. So there's been these fragmented groups and everybody has done something, but to do it all together, I think that this is where the historical point of what we're doing right now in collaboration with the IFCO, that I think it's gonna go blow up because it's not gonna be domestically, it's gonna be internationally, and we're all bringing in our wisdom, our experience that's going to help this organization to thrust forward and to leave this for future generations.
Yeah, and we had a bunch of meetings. Sorry, Drew, just real quick. Like this was not like Eddie said. This was, probably 5 or 6 years in the making. Where I mean, yearly, I was like, I'm out, and then we're like, well, let's hang on. This is what's changing. This is what's happening. And then when we did this, it just didn't happen overnight because we were like, we're just going to focus on D and do our thing. And then the IFCO discussion came on. And then Edwin, you hooked us up with Grant. We got on a couple calls. Then we got on the calls with the board. And then it was like, wow, they're thinking the same way. Like they said to us, they were hoping to get involved with the ICA and join us there with everything they saw happening. And then when they realized that we couldn't really do anything, it was like we're spinning our wheels, and it made sense for us to now come together with this new organization that we're looking to build up. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, and just coming to the IFCO, it's not. I see it. I love basketball, and season just started. It's great. Like Dennis Rodman was horrible at so much, but he was a rebounder. Jason Williams, White Chocolate, he was a playmaker, passer. Steph Curry, he's clutch man. Like everybody has their own gifts that we're going to bring to the IFCO that only we have. Like I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. Nobody else does. But together, we come together, and then we're a championship team.
Right.
It takes a team with all the different skill sets to go win a championship.
That's right.
Well, you're definitely Larry Bird. There's no doubt about that. But you're talking earlier, Cordero, about that IFCO was started by Reggie Gold, and I thought it was interesting because Eddie just sent I think it was Eddie, either Eddie or Drew, sent a picture in the last couple of days of when Dr. Sid, close to the end of his life, and Reggie Gold, close to the end of his life, met up. I believe, was it in New York?
It was in Connecticut, at the extravaganza. Yeah,
that's right.
Mohegan.
And basically just embraced, and it was to me, it was what I didn't realize until now was that how cool that what Dr. Sid started with just DE, and this again is not, and he was also president of the ICA, but that these DE guys and ICA guys, where Dr. Sid was the start of it, coming together with the IFCO, which Dr. Reggie was starting. And the interesting part is that, even though we're getting flack from a lot of people, which is fine, it is what it is. People like to talk. People like to, Get curious, call me and ask me. But it's interesting that, you know, literally, historically, an incredible thing. Like to take two groups that historically in the past didn't always see eye to eye again in the camp, not in chiropractically. Chiropractically, we're pretty damn straight on. And come together, which I think is just awesome. I think it's also important to note, I know there's some people who I've heard from who've just said, you know, they come with what the IFCO maybe used to be, or who used to be led by more. And it seems to be a very different organization at this point. Just like if you came by DE right after Dr. Sid was removed from his baby from Life University, you would have had some very angry DE people that we did not handle ourselves in the best way. I mean, there's we've talked about this before. It is what it is. Somebody, you know, smacked our dad, and you know, we wanted to smack back, you know, and but that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like we're way past that.
Yeah. And if you think about what if Dr. Sid and Reggie embraced each other in their powerful days and actually worked together, what would the profession look like today?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm probably one of the most dogmatic out of us all here. And I think that's just because I'm emotional and what chiropractic could have done for my family and my brother. So I used to get even more frustrated with what people will do in their practice. And I think the art form here is really for us as leadership and try to make this work out, because it's going to be work, you know, is letting people express themselves, where it's like, we're not the ultra straight where you can't be part of the group. Everybody come in together and bring your heart and passion, and let's try to grow together. And then maybe as people get closer to the purity, they get cleansed and they realize like what life could look like on the other side with a, you know, a lasting purpose mindset and a leadership that's in there to help you and create value, especially for students coming out from the moment they're in school, coming right into practice and in their future.
Yeah, and you know what's really cool as well, Steve, and thank you. That was very well said. But what's interesting is this: my wife used to sell Mary Kay products when I first started school in 1989, and that's how she supported us through the process, by selling Mary Kay. And Mary Kay had a tagline: "If it's to be, it's up to me." And so, if we look at this, all five of us on this call and all the people that are involved with the IFCO that have been in the trenches for a long time, we don't need to be doing this. We've already done our time. We can just tap out and go, hey, you guys take over. We're done. We've done what we can. But if the change for the future of this profession is to be, it's up to every single one of us, including all the people involved in the IFCO. And I think that that's the message that I like for our viewers to be able to understand, that, listen, forget about the past. It's the past, the present, and the future. And we're in the present. We can't do anything about the past, but we could definitely do something for the future. And it's up to us to be those change makers to allow this profession to be what it could be. We have not seen what this profession can be because of all the division, because of all the arguments, because our group is better. No, your group is better. And that situation is so childish, but that's what our profession has been. But I really do believe, in my heart of hearts, going through all the experiences that every single one of us have endured in practice, in building and scaling our businesses, in the trade organizations that we've been part of, in the state organizations that we work with, et cetera, we still have not seen the potential of what we can do. And I'm excited for this opportunity. And I want to invite everybody to come and join us, because this is going to be a historical moment. And it's because we don't have to. We want to make a difference for the future of this profession.
And I think structurally, people just need to understand that things happen quick as a result of the way their bylaws are set up with the announcement and how things rolled out. And we made a decisive decision. And for the interim, they've put three of us on the board, right? Myself, Eddie, and Drew. It could have been any three of us, but we said, let's do that first. But we're all running for the board officially, which is the way the bylaws are set up. And we're following the bylaws, that when people do join up, you'll get an email with the, what do you call it? The
ballot.
The ballot. And you'll also see Greg Rubenstein up there, you know, running as well. And there's other great people, David Serio, and there's some really good people involved. that we would say, go ahead, if you're going to join up, make sure you get the ballot, go in there and vote. And for the people saying, well, what are you going to do? You're going to find out. Like we've been working tirelessly on a strategy and a vision that we already were trying to do with the ICA. We have it. And when we get in there, we'll bring it in that vision, and it's going to take people. It's going to take numbers. It's going to take connection. It's going to take people showing up to DE to like, let's break bread together. Let's have conversations. I've had more conversations with people that were kind of pissed off a little bit about this. And then when we talked, they were like, this makes perfect sense. Right? Eddie, you were going to say something.
Yeah, no, I was gonna piggyback on that, and what Ed said. This is a tremendous opportunity. I'm so looking forward to this. No, I forgot my train of thought.
I thought you were getting emotional.
I had it right
before.
I was like, okay,
No.
Get the tissues.
No. I mean, it's just it's looking at the makeup of the IFCO board right now. It has so much, like you said, we have so much potential. And that picture with Dr. Sid and Reggie, I was there at that event, and when I was seeing it happen at the time when they were taking the picture together, and Dr. Umber was there as well. I was thinking to myself, this is such a historical moment. And sitting here talking to you guys now, I was wondering, I was like, how much time was wasted that those two men were not together and unified and working towards the same goal and the vision. And again, it's about how we started this call today. It's about putting aside the egos. And there's no better time than now, and now's the time to do it. And I'm so looking forward to what's gonna happen.
Even the time from that picture to now. I mean, how much time? When was that picture? Do you remember?
2009.
I mean,
Yeah.
Another 17, whatever.
And the biggest separation that I could tell everybody here, as far as when it comes to leadership, and this is a decision we made years ago when we were basically told we're taking over DE, like we didn't expect that from Dr. Sid. We had to make some pivotal moves, and the decision was anyone in leadership, it's got to be clean. It's got to be chiropractic, and we'll love everybody, but it's when you're looking at this crew that's on this call and moving forward, when you walk in their office, it's chiropractic, and I could speak for this crew. It's volume. Like I've been in the trenches and I've been to all the biggest political meetings. They ain't volume. They're not doing chiropractic. They're not serving the masses. They're not living it. They're not walking the walk. And my big stance has always been then why you're a leader, because you could wear a suit and you could converse well and you could be eloquent, but you're not a chiropractor. You're not blowing it up in practice. And if we're gonna build this profession to be seeing more than 10% of the population, we got to get students educated on the principle, how to serve the masses, how to work together, and how to get a fire in your proverbial butt to go out there and serve big, to change people's lives, which is the big picture that we could bring internationally with this organization that we're developing.
Yeah, and even this past weekend, I've got probably 100 texts and messages from people offering their congratulations. Like, this is awesome, this is great, and I always send them a link to join. Like, you should join the IFCO, and they do. I got confirmation of 40 plus people this weekend that I'm joining.
It's awesome.
Screenshots of them joining, and one person out in the Southwest, I even told them, I'm like, we would love for you to get like involved. It seems like the Southwest is a dry area, and they were like, man, I would love to be involved. I want to get involved, but nobody's ever asked me to get involved anywhere, but I'm willing to do anything. And that's one thing I think that us being lifelong DE attendees brings. We've got hundreds of connections all over the globe of people that love principled chiropractic and that want to get to work and want to do good work in principled chiropractic, the IFCO, and wants to just blow this up big.
Yeah,
it's going to be an amazing time.
I had someone text me and say, hey, are you going to keep it the same name? I said, that's an interesting concept. Let's hold off on that. I was like, oh. And now people, even Dr. Umber was like, hey, this will be a good name for the organization. I mean, and there's a guy, man, he's 92 years old. And it was tough, man. It was heartbreaking because we had a call with him to like, as much as he was entrenched in the ICA and everything, he realizes, because what kept us in for so long, and probably 5 years too long for me personally, just the amount of wasted time, it was Sid and BJ's organization, and it no longer is. There's great men in there. There's people I'll be friends with forever that are leaders, that are actually even going on and leading other organizations and things that are happening that are great dudes. I broke bread with. They're good people, but they express, I wouldn't even call it chiropractic, things their way that are not in alignment with what we want. And if we want the families and human beings around the world to be receiving principal chiropractic care, we need better leadership and we need a massive movement. And this is our big chance to do it.
And you know what? Being the politician of the group, you know, we have to put all the cards on the table. ICA, good luck. You know, whatever you guys are doing, whatever you're not doing, great. Go do you. You know, perfectly fine. You know, IFCO, great people involved. They've been doing a tremendous amount of work to hold the line, like a lot of the small groups, including us as well at DE. We've been holding the line. But coming together now is an opportunity of a lifetime. I know that the IFCO board and the IFCO leadership and the IFCO members are waiting for. They were waiting for the opportunity to have this opportunity to happen, and it's happening. So we're excited, you know, as chiropractors. We're excited as leaders. DE is supportive. They're going to support us through the process. So now it's time to go. Whatever the past is, the past. This is the present. We're moving towards the future. And I know that what's going to happen is going to be huge. And that's what really excites me. But it takes workers, it takes leaders, it takes people to support, it takes people to refer. Our number one priority, and I know what the IFCO is, it's the future of this profession. So it's the students. We have to support these students so when they go out into the world, they can continue this in perpetuity.
Amen.
Well, I mean, I kind of like feel, you know, if you know us already, you know where our heart lies and you know what our motives are. If you don't know us, maybe give us a chance, you know, just, you know, that website is ifcochiro.org. It's like $41 a month. Become a member. Give us a year. See what we do. See if we're trying, you know, if we're pulling out things that make you proud of the direction, at least. I'm not saying we're going to fix all these problems in a year. But, you know, give us a chance. You know, students are like $50 and first year is like $10 a month. So, I mean, I think it's well worth seeing what this group of highly motivated people, us and the other side of the people already in the IFCO, can do with some better organization, nonprofit status, just really a lot of things that can go on with Dr. Cordero's leadership. And this guy took a school that was about to go under. Of course, they told him that after he got the job, had a year to fix this, into just one of the most prosperous schools, with just I think just had its biggest incoming class in history. You know, and that is, of course, Jack Borlow deserves credit, but and the board, but you know, that is from the work that Cordero and the ones before him, but that Cordero took a sinking ship and created. If he can do that, and he can help us, or whoever's on the board of this IFCO, the sky's the limit on what we can do. You know, Cordero's in a great position for us right now because, you know, he's semi-retired. But you know, there's a face. You know, some of us would love to get out and just go spread the message of what we're trying to do. And I'm just excited for two groups that traditionally have not come together, coming together. I think it's monumental.
A lot of healing going on, man, so we can be used in a bigger way. That's what's happening.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
I wanted to share a quick note. I was talking to Travis Corcoran, the president of the IFCO, and one of the comments that we made, and we were all on the call, one of the comments that I made was, I said, I think that, you know, US, we can improve definitely upon chiropractic, and we have plenty of opportunity to work, but the international market is completely, you know, clueless out there. They don't have support. Some of the international colleagues are supporting groups and organizations that are not congruent with principle, because there is no other way that they can be supported. They need the advocacy of a group that can go out there and support them. So a lot of them are supporting the enemy because they have no other way. So this is huge news, because through the IFCO, now there's representation and from a principal perspective. So I think it's just not only going to blow up here domestically, but it's going to blow up internationally. They need the support, and we have the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom, the desire to make this difference, because we want chiropractic to shine not only in perpetuity, but all around the world.
Yeah, and the IFCO is really set up, for a global, explosion here domestically and abroad, because already on the board there's people from Australia, Mexico, the Netherlands. So it's already set up. We just gotta take action and make the push.
Yeah,
And listen,
and
kudos.
I know
kudos
that
to-
we're go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
I know that we're talking international. That's great. I talked to a guy in Ghana this weekend. He's fired up. He's getting signed up. But then we're hyper local too. Dr. Brian, you're past president of the Georgia Council of Chiropractic. I'm vice president currently, incoming president. Sunday night, we signed up to be state affiliate with the IFCO. Like, we're all in with the IFCO.
Awesome.
No matter what happens, we're all in with the IFCO.
Wow, that's awesome.
It is. It is. We're fired up in Georgia, I tell you.
Yep.
Amen,
And
brother.
just for everybody's information, if you haven't checked out the website, I mean, the mission of the IFCO, and I'll read it to you guys, is to support the practice of chiropractic to correct vertebral subluxation, because subluxations in and of themselves are a detriment to the fullest expression of life.
Bam.
How you can't be up more of that. So
Can't get cleaner than that.
Drop the mic on that. And I think, as one of my closing remarks, kudos to Grant and Travis and the board, the leadership that got on numerous calls, and we asked some very poignant questions. We were very firm in our belief system. We had a couple challenging conversations that we were able to work through, and I have great respect for that. As grown men and women, that we were able to kind of there was a couple moments where it's like you could feel a push away, and we all just kind of kept it going with love and the big vision. And as long as we can move forward with this profession with the bigger vision, the bigger purpose, and not about the me, but the we, and that BJ and Sid are coming with us. Like, we're not walking away from them. They're walking with us. We're walking towards something, and we got work to do. Like Dr. Cordero said, we could go off and do other things and just chill. We're putting a lot, and we realize there's many out there. You're going to look for us to fail. Like, bring it on, baby. But if you're not, and you want to help, and you want to be involved, and if you have ideas, and hey, have you ever thought about this or doing this, or I want to help, reach out and help us out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or contacts. We're open. We know a lot of people amongst all of us and amongst the IFCO. But if you have some contacts and some connections and whatever, bring it to the table so we can have those conversations. I wanted to share something just so you guys can understand who we're partnering with. On the IFCO board meetings that we had, a couple of board meetings that we had with their team, two of their doctors, one is from Australia and then the other one's from the Netherlands. We were on a call where our time here at the East Coast was normal. It was 2:00 in the morning. I don't know how committed I would be to have a conversation on a board meeting at 2:00 in the morning, but guess what? They were on, and they stayed the whole time that we had the meeting. That's commitment, and that's what we understand, that we're collaborating and coming together with all of us that are committed for something bigger than ourselves.
Amen.
I'm pregnant.
And pregnant.
And pregnant, right,
Dr.
exactly.
Lou. I got respect for that girl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's what we need, man. We need workers. We need workers. Drew, any closing remarks, brother?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, it's just give us a shot. Just give us a shot. We love chiropractic. We love working for chiropractic. I work probably more hours through the week for chiropractic that's not in our office than I do in the office. We love chiropractic. Just give us a shot. We'll love you. We'll serve you, and we'll serve chiropractic. And And man, I'm just excited to get to work. I text some of you boys the other day. I'm like, what do? I want to do something. Want to do something.
Amen.
And that's really about it. The world needs chiropractic more than ever right now.
That's right. Eddie?
Yeah, it's really more than just us. It's about something greater. And I was thinking about Abraham Lincoln's quote, and it's kind of like what we were going through and what we've done and what we're doing now. It basically says, be sure to put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. And I think that's what we're doing, and I think that's what I want to. We want to invite everybody to join us and do the same thing and work. Because guy, me, I'm not out there to be in front of everybody, but I'm a good worker bee, so I'm ready.
Amen. Brian?
Couldn't be more excited about this opportunity. And kind of mimicking that is, if you, I hear so many times when people are talking about the ICA, what can I do? What can I do? Contact one of us. We might not know right now, but we'll figure out ways to plug people in. The more hands, many hands make work or lighter, whatever it is, like whatever you can do. The first thing you should do is join. Like that's the first thing you can do to try to support the people working for your good, who for chiropractic's good, which ultimately is your good, probably if you're watching this. But join the organization and then get in touch and see what you can do, and then give us a chance to do some work. There's nobody in here that is doing this to toot their own horns or to build their own product or to sell their own means. That we're doing it because chiropractic needs it. And it's way too late, way too long that these organizations haven't come together. And I hope, and I will push for us bringing in other organizations. There's some great people doing great things that if everybody can just lay down their arms a little bit and just say, you know what, that group is very well aligned with me philosophically on chiropractic. Let's see if we can't work together in certain ways to come together and be more powerful, like a New Beginnings, like a Mile High, like ones that we know that, and I'm just throwing ones out there, so don't get offended if I didn't say yours, if I said it and it's even wrong. But there are people doing work that we need to bring into the fold, and I hope we can do that with the IFCO and us together.
Well said, brother. Dr. Cordero.
Well, I want to just say ditto to everything that everybody has said. I think that the world is hurting chiropractically. Organizations are hurting chiropractically. There's countries out there with several chiropractors in charge of a whole country, and they don't have a support system. And I think that this is the vehicle where everybody can come on board. We can all push forward. We can make this world a better, place with chiropractic and the organizations that are like-minded that want to come and be part and support this. The time is now. I would hate for you to miss out on the opportunity of this historical event. I want you to be part of it. I want you to support organizations that are doing things, bigger than themselves. Like I said, this is a historical moment, and I hope that you don't miss out on the opportunity to become part of this. Egos are removed. Work needs to be done, and we're going to go out and do everything that we can as an organization to bring chiropractic to the world.
Amen, my man. Listen, guys, as I'm sitting here listening to all this, I think, the word historical keeps coming up, and I think this is probably the first time in history in chiropractic the tide is not following a leader. Mm-hmm. It's following leaders, and it's leaders that have been divided due to ego and emotions that we're now saying, let's come together. It's that whole 300 principle, and let's grow this vision together, and let's pull everyone together to work for the greater good of one thing, chiropractic and humanity. So great job. Everyone go in. If your heart is leading you that way, join the IFCO, get in there and on the website, jump in. We love and appreciate you. And listen, hold us accountable, help us out, give us ideas, and let's do this together. There's nothing bigger than the we. Amen, guys.
Amen.
Right. And if anybody has any questions, don't be afraid to reach out.
Amen.
And we'll put a link. We'll put a link for you to join. So if it's easier, you can just go and click on the link so you can sign up as a member.
That's right. Or just contact Drew. He'll get you the link.
Yeah, contact me. I have nothing else going on. No, for real. Y'all call me. I'll get you a link. Anything anybody needs, you let me know.
You're the link
I'll
man.
be
He
here.
actually
All right,
means that.
Jack. Love and appreciate you.
All right,
Share this
love
with your
y'all.
friends. Spread the word. Amen, guys.